Okay, here we go. Might as well just get started. Just get the stream underway. Started playing anyway. Okay. We have that, we have that. Okay, let's go with this. Let's do stream or something. So what I'm doing is I am currently associating a game copy with an actual price charting record. So if I have my price charting key enabled, I am able to do this piece. This allows me to actually now link the pricing of this game to price charting, which is going to be useful. So what we do is we'll do an iRepository price charting game copy association associations. And in here, what we'll do is we'll associate. Good morning, Mr. Geek. Still for you. Thank you very much for 21 months, man. I appreciate that. Very much so. Hope you're ready for your nap later. I went to bed at a similar time as you did. In my time. Not straight after you. Yeah. So I was up till 20 to 1. Didn't intend to be. Wanted to get off around 11. I'm trying to get some earlier nights so I can get some good sleep, but I was stuck on this, trying to get progress made. I should have walked away. Oh well. Okay, so basically what we want to do is we want to create an association and then immediately attach a history record. The reason being, the way this data is structured, to go and help my brother soon, then I need to work on the secret project. Oof, busy one. So I have price charting game copy associations, and this is the current record, right, with the current pricing. But I also insert a is current equals true. I also is current true. Oh, 1. I forgot it's in. It's kind of good thing I missed the delivery. Yeah, I was actually going to joke with you last night when you were up so late. I was like, well, you might as well just stay up now and get that delivery that they're going to try and deliver again today. And I didn't say it because I thought that wouldn't be very funny. Yeah, I feel bad. Yeah, that's. Oh no, I've got double. Oh, I've got double trues. Oh, hold on, they're not double trues. They look like the double trues, but they're actually for different copies. Different. Oh no, that's the same association. That's a bad problem to have. From August of that year. No. Might have to fix that first. Select star from. Hold on. That font size is ridiculous. Edit settings. font. Menlo 12. It's a bit better. So select star from price charting history, where associate I'll select count star, where exists select star from price charting history, pricing history where no almost where pxh dot association ID equals ph dot association ID, and pxh dot is current equals 1, and ph dot is current equals 1, and pxh dot ID now equal to ph dot ID. So the same association, but they're both marked as current. 986 records. So let's start from there. Out of almost 100,000 records, I'm not panicked about that duplicate. But the problem is they're all marked as current, and they're all from the different time periods. So I clearly can. Does this bug still happen? Is the question. Order by import date. Sending. Yes, it happened in March. So the idea is that what I do is, as I get a pricing record, I set the current version of it so I can get the current price charting value. Then I insert the history record and mark it as the current pricing, so that I can constantly, update that. I don't, when I update the new pricing, I don't shift it into this table as a history record, which is probably a smarter option at this point. Now I reflect on that, but there is potential for me to duplicate. Now these could be because I've rerun the import and it's just added the extra records, because the import does fail sometimes. So this might be a problem that goes away, but it's not like it's definitely doing it in batches, isn't it? Secret project. Not by me. I have no secrets. Morning, Delta. How you doing? So what that should be, and pxh dot import date equals ph dot import date. Actually, it doesn't matter. Only one should be marked as the current. Like secret squirrel, squeaky, squeaker. Okay. Select max ID. Oh, how do I do that? There's a way of doing this. Yeah, we make that another. Select. how do I do this now? Basically, I select the maximum one and delete it for each one. I've done this so many times and I don't remember how to do it. I'm mad. Let's use the tools. Let's use the tools. How do I create? How do I? A duplicated. To one. Remove all but the weighted record for each. Hey, maybe. How you doing? The latest record for each. Delete from where not in select ID, select ID. Something similar to that. So it'd be something similar to last day today. Yeah. No longer American. You'll always be American. It's a state of mind. Yeah. I hope your midnight oh well, maybe next time. I hope your midnight thing went well. It's fine. It's fine. I'm too tired. But I didn't want to go complete darkness again. Everything's exhausting at the moment. The world is exhausting. But beyond that, let me fix this data issue first. So I'm not really worried there's a major issue. Well, I'm worried there's an issue in my code for tracking the history. However, 986 duplicates, so 400 and something duplicate records in 100,000 records isn't the worst. I should have stayed in bed and got the rest that you didn't get staying up late. My brain started whirring. I woke up at 5. I let the dogs out, got back in bed, and couldn't sleep, so put YouTube on for a bit. And I was like, and then I was thinking about this, and once that's done, I'm like, now I'm itching to go downstairs and do this. So yeah, basically what I'm doing right this second is I am searching. So when I add a copy for a game, if I have my price charting key enabled, which I do in this case, right, I'm able to link. That's the game thing, isn't it? Yeah. I need to put my phone on silent more often. I'm able to then search for the game, identify the game, and then link it. And this will link the payment record, the pricing record with that copy of the game. So I need to create a new association and then immediately attach a history record. so that I continue to track the history of the games. Easier said than done, apparently, because I've screwed it up somewhere along the lines, and we're still screwing it up until March of this year. Nothing has changed in this code base, so that's kind of impressive. That yeah, because I've done many imports since then. Maybe it's just they've gone well. So I think this is an artifact of that, of it failing to upload. But I do have some code for handling that, that I will roll out later. Lurk, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. I'm gaming with someone. Nice. Have fun. So we want to do. What's he suggesting? Let me get my head around this. She doesn't know the date. Well, be good. Yeah, I don't need to catch another one. What would sticky keys? What would that look like with this query? That's not what I'm asking though. I suppose it would, wouldn't it? That would give me the top one for each of those records. Because it would be and exists. So select ph.id and PCH. I think I'm making a mess of that, but it's fine. It's all fine. SQL's hard. It's fine. What the? What? Why you can? So that should be 501, right? No, that's not right. Select. That gets me my duplicates. Right. So that should be 900 and whatever records. Right, that's that, yeah. So select star from price shining to select top one. Yeah, I don't think that's quite what I want it to do. This query, you see, one record for each. Delete all but one. Delete from price shop where it is current is one, an ID not in, select ID from, select ID from. Oh my goodness me. this just highlights that it can't get enough context from this query to build this query. All it's doing is using what I've said and not what I've given it, because it's saying delete all but the where is current is one ID, not in select ID from select ID row number where is current equals one. So it's gonna delete everything but the last, but one is current. Yeah, that's not what I gave you. Like this doesn't really hold me up very much. I can clear this data later. It would be nice to just have this removed. But yeah, actually, let's divert. Let's divert. So I'm gonna continue on that style for now until I reflect back on that later, because I think it's more appropriate for me to do that, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna create this as a partial, and we are going to add public class. I don't think that'll work quite as well as I wanted to. What I've done previously is if there's behavior attached to an object, I create a partial class for the behavior, so it keeps the data front and center. I woke up thinking it was Saturday. No such luck, my friend. No such luck. Long weekend as well. Price charting game copy association dot behavior. Let's see what that creates as a monstrosity. Oh, it actually did it. Partial. SE career ladder by question junior. How mid what senior wise. How, what, why, really? Why did you got red squiggle? Should be red squiggle. There you go. Okay, there you go. So we're basically creating a new association, and then we're going to add a history record to it. Is how this is going to work. I love how everything's just gone squiggly. Like it's like, I'm broken. Is my sound not working? I don't know. Is your sound not working? I assume from the fact that people are talking to me. Yeah. I just don't want to have headphones on, so I had no way of testing that. Yeah. And I know I am mouthy quiet, but yeah. So let's go start by games queries. But why is everything going squiggly? That's just weird, Ryder. So var association equals new price charting game copy association. Actually, we need a few things here. iRepository. Actually, hold on. I think I can. Ooh. This was a me problem. Hope I didn't miss anything directed at me. Not particular. This might be a little bit more complicated than I want it to be. I have an association from game copy. No, I just need to get the game copy. That's the difference. We'll make the association. That's the copy identifier though. So I need an I repository. It just seems wasteful to copies to load the copies and then not just attach an association to it, but that association has to have history. I don't know. Maybe that is the right way of thinking about it. Maybe when it adds itself, when we create a new association, we attach a history record by default. That's not a bad way of doing it, is it? So what we do is we create a we go messing with things here. We create a private constructor, private price charting game copy association, and we set int copy ID, int price charting ID, string name. Yeah. Last updated. Look at me flip-flopping on my designs. In Liquid Sky, I have an explicit created and last updated, and in this one, I just decided last updated was all I needed. Interesting. So game copy ID equals copy ID. Come on. There we go. Oh. There you go. Nice. So if we create this now, so now we put public static price charting game copy V8. We take all those parameters that we just did. Right. Now, the first thing we do is var association equals new price charting game copy association. We pass all those values in. Right. We do that. We do that. We do that. We do that. Oh, come on. We were doing so well. Right. So we create a new association. We're going to return that association. However, at the same time, we're going to do association.history.add new price chart history record, and that's going to have association ID equals association.id. I think this should maintain referential integrity. It should maintain that ID. So this is a test. Console name. That's console name, not that is game name. Console name. String console name. String console name. The reason I track console name. Oh, do we not track it in this one? Oh. What? I track it in the history, but I don't track it. Oh, I do track it in the history. I don't track it in the association. Whatever. It's fine. It's all fine. It works well this way. Anyway, we remove that one because it goes in the history. Association ID. Name equals association name. Console name equals console name. Complete loose, new, import date equals date time. Actually, price time, date time dot etc now. We'll default that value. And is current equals true. So essentially, all we need to do is modify game copy to create an association, and we'll make it explicit. Because we'll be able to remove that as well if we want to. But that way, we only need to insert copies here, not associations. So then we can load the copy, async copy equals await copies dot first to default async new copy by identifier spec. Right. Meds. Making sure I can't forget. That's all. I have a reminder set to to take medicine now, and I don't want to. I have a very bad habit of forgetting. Anyway, that's a separate thing. So what we'll do is we will. This will be query.where C goes to C the identifier. Identifier. That's nice and simple. Move to folder. Price charting. Specifications. That's fine. And then, so that gives us our copy. Argument null dot throw if null copy. If that's null at that point, then that's a problem. So yeah. So yeah. If you're just joining the stream, if you are new, what I'm working on is my game library application for tracking my video game collection. Right now I'm focusing on associating a pricing record that I use price charting as a kind of way to figure out roughly what the value of my collection is at any one time, or roughly what the value of a game is. Ultimately, what I want to do is put more intelligence in here and say, hey, if once I update the pricing, if a game increased in price or is kind of an upward trend in pricing because it's becoming more in demand, then maybe I want to consider selling it to get to be able to afford more games, or be able to get some spare cash. I love the games. I want to play all the games, but there are certain games in the collection that I've picked up because they are part of something else, or they are. I have duplicates of some things. Yeah. So, yeah. So, so if we do associate with price charting, and we create a price charting game copy association dot create here, this looks like copy.id command.price charting ID command dot copy dot no, I want the price charting name. I feel like people are lower energy Friday mornings, at least I am. Maybe it's that ready for the weekend sort of feeling. I know I am a little tired, but I'm excited to do this. I've actually got some good meetings coming up today, so I'm actually not disappointed I have work today. But we do have a long weekend. Meetings can be good. If they're productive, they can be very good, yeah. String name. So I'm going to basically what I'm going to do, rather than call price charting again from the server side after I've already called it to get it on the console side, I'm going to what I could do is scrap all that. I could inject my pricing service pricing. I could say bar pricing current I could do product equals await pricing dot fetch product by ID async, and that will now give me the command dot price chart ID that's selected from the client. And this way I can do a little bit more with this. Let's go to game copy. This becomes more service-like, which is my big problem here, but yeah. Public void associate. What do I call that then? I'm yet to decide whether I want to have price charting through the code. I refactored everything out yesterday to make pricing a concept without price charting being the exact thing in the code, but then I've still got these price charting records. Again, if I start to move this towards something like Liquid Sky, then all my price charting information can actually be separate to my game information, and then have a combined view. But to me, that's where we step into the right now. That's total over engineering. Having this pricing information in my database is useful. So I'm not gonna panic. And this is going to be equals association. I know I could set it, but the point is I'm being more deliberate about this design, right? So that's all I'm trying to do there. Yeah. So yeah, if you are new, if you have any questions, thoughts, opinions on what I'm doing, please feel free. Yeah. So we will have product dot name. Product dot console name. Product dot complete a box. Product dot loose. Product dot new. Is that it? Is that it? That's all I need. And then we do copies dot add async. Return success. Remember this is a test. This is absolutely a test. This is not a guarantee. If product dot is null, I don't think it actually can be null, can it? No. If product equals invalid, return result dot error, unable to retrieve game from. Here I'm towing the line between my implementation and price charting's phrasing. What I might end up doing is calling this game or whatever up through here, because it is a game, right? It's representing a game. However, price charting refer to everything as a product because they use trading cards, pops, and all sorts of stuff, and it's all a product to them. They just have generalized it out, and basically with price charting, what you do is with the API, you select which fields you want, and that's what you pay for. The fields that you're going to get in your API. So yeah. Okay, so now we could do price charting copies. Associate pricing. So this will be public class request, public GUID identifier, public int price charting ID. This will be an endpoint with a associate request and results okay and bad request. We're gonna override configure, and we're gonna have post here. This is gonna be copies identifier GUID associate. Policies is going to be auth policy. You have to be auth, right? Ultimately, I could put permissions in there, but yeah. Description equals associate price charting data with this game copy. What? Oh, it's a function that says that. I'm the only dev working today. Wow. That's fun. May your day not be full of fires. So let's do sender here. I'll do it. Sender.send. So var result equals sender.send new associate pricing with copy dot command, and this is going to take rec dot identifier and rec dot price charting ID, and then it's going to return result that is success, type results dot okay, typed results dot bad request. That's it for right this second. Now we see if I break the data really badly. Sorry for the bump. That was further away from the mic then. So what this is going to do is, do we have games copies? So we need to allow for that in the gateway. Copies route. It's going to be everything in there. Cluster ID, games API, copies. Remove that. That'll route it properly. Okay. Stony, hello. How you doing? Okay, so let's run that. We live on the edge. I'm basically going to get it to write the code now on the client, and I've been using Claude pretty much exclusively for the client, and it looks like it as well. So, yeah, there might be version 18 of this app at some point, but for right now, it works really well. So, what we're going to do is when we select this, we're going to call this. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Earlier in the week, I felt extremely tired all the time. I think I'm getting used to the new meds, and yeah, a bit more energy. Bit more energy. When I we go to associate price with a game copy, we should on select, we need to post a request to copies ID associate with a that doesn't make any sense. But let's see what happens. So again, the goal here is to say, hey, this pricing, by the way, is associated with this. And what we're looking for is afterwards, when we see Advance Wars, I believe. Let's close all that down. So we'll worry about the duplicates later. So this is the copy, right? What we're looking for afterwards is that we have game copy ID equals, no, not that one. Why do you not know how your own game works? 4754. What we're looking for is there to be a record here, and then for that ID there to be a record in history. If that works, that's yeah, I win today. That'll be my crowning achievement of today. But we got to get there first. And my bet is Claude is going to make a complete mess of this screen now. Yeah. But yeah, if you have any questions, thoughts, opinions on what I'm doing, you're more than welcome to join in. I'm not beyond criticism. I'm deliberately using Claude for the client to basically keep my productivity up. It is not good. It is in no way, shape, or form good. The code it is generating is at best what I would produce if I was just kind of trying to figure this out on my own, like just jamming stuff together. Although I would have got stuck on some of the things like, hey, why are you loading multiple times? And tried to fix them before proceeding. Claude doesn't see that as a problem. So, yeah. Come on. It's taking a while. We'll see. Basically, with this done, I've got almost feature parity, with some exception of what I currently have in my actual live version. So what I'll do is after this works, I'm going to pivot to doing some of the metrics. This chair is particularly uncomfortable today. The complete pricing association workflow is now functional and ready to use. Odds on, it is not, but we'll get there. So again, the goal would be I go in here. That's not an awesome start. Why am I getting 500s? I think it logged me out in between. Nope. Nope, it completely bought my profile. No suitable to construct. There we go, that's why. Okay. That was my side. The following, so basically, cannot bind copy ID following constructors. So I have got this. What do I do with this one then? I made a private constructor for this. Jira integrations in Slack and our CRM set me as the owner of every ticket created through these tools. Nice. 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 You should you should get on them quickly. Giving yourself work. Okay. So that is caused by can't be bound. The following constructors have parameters that could not be bound to properties of the entity type cannot bind copy ID. Note that only mapped properties can be bound to constructor parameters. Oh. No, right? That's not a thing. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, what did I do there? No. Slow down. Game copy ID. That's a good feature of Rider, but a bad feature of Rider. That whole, hey, look, I see the pattern. No, it's the owner, not the assignee. So I'm just attached to every ticket. Well. Who do we have here? Hey, Apex. How are you doing? I apologize for not catching your stream last night. It just fell in between other things. How did it go? Sorry. Did you get any progress made? I have a feeling there will be more streams. That's a good sign. Huh, interesting. So if you call that parameter something different, it doesn't know to map it to that property by default. That's really weird. Decorations working a bit, figuring out the animate one star. Nice. Coming along though. That's awesome. Okay, here we go. Advance Wars. I should show some loading. It is slowly. Yeah, sometimes that's what it takes. Okay, search pricing. So this is the game we're going to associate. We probably should make sure we have a breakpoint on the other side. It's probably not wise just to do this without actually doing any. Associate pricing with copy. Associate copy pricing is not a function. Slow is fast and fast is slow. Did we forget something? You're absolutely right. Of course I'm right. That's what I expect. I added the method to the interface, but forgot to implement it in the actual. So you didn't forget. You didn't forget anything. It's wrong. But it's fine. It's all fine. It's all going to be fine. I forgot I should put the vibe coding tag on it on YouTube. I'd have got more views. Keep trying. Need AI to bully us by default. What are you even thinking? I see the problem. There are two separate return statements creating service objects. That's what you get for copying and pasting, Claude. Keep searching. It's going to get stuck in one of those loops, isn't it? Oh, let me do grep again. Let me do. Hey, it doesn't know any better, does it? It doesn't know what it's telling you. um, you do have to be careful being like snarky with it though. I'm fully expecting to see code bases littered with comments and methods that are basically the result of someone being snarky with the AI. Copy or pricing data not found. Associate. Yeah, no, I've done it. I have done the ultra think before. I have 100% tried the ultra think and I think it's hilarious. Post copies associate. Oh, you URL is API copies ID associate provided wrong URL. Okay, lady, hello. How you doing? Yeah, I've done the ultra think. It does take 3 times longer to think about things, which is yeah. Okay, so you think this is not going to work? Well, we got to our endpoint. That's a good sign. We have a request. We have no price chart ID. Skip to here. Yeah. Um, you did not pass. How can I ultra think? Is this a human feature too? I don't know. Does thinking longer get you better results? Or just get you bored? You did not pass the price charting ID with the request. Actually, let me verify that it didn't actually do something. Fudge. Um, um, my parents only opted for the simple think model. Yes. Okay, let's get there. We can still bail out because we've got the other thing. So here's hoping to this working. Oh no, it's putting console logs in. Oh, you end up with such a fancy log. I mean, look all the pictures. That's funny. Angling to be a mod. Oh, we got to copy. Do we have? We still have no price chart ID. Oh dear. Skip to here. Uh, it thinks it did it. The emoji's bright in my. Oh, it drives me nuts. It's just noise as well. That's the worst part. It's just noise. Uh, so we go here. We select that. It's not passing it at all. Skip to here. Run. I hate that show. A rule at work that every commit must contain at least 2 emojis. Oh dear. There's never money in the bank. Ask me how I know. Well, Claude, buddy. You are clearly hallucinating. If you think that associate, which you did multiple times, by the way, which is just ridiculous. Uh, 500. Oh, that's fine. I don't think I've ever seen Arrested Development. You are. There is no price charting ID being sent. To be clear, when we select a pricing result from the associate dialog, we only want to send there is no price charting being sent. The body is ultra think. I've genuinely never watched it. Yeah, me neither. I'm not even sure I know what Arrested Development is. Lasted for long enough. Yeah, it's cringe comedy, isn't it? Oh, look, I named the variable wrong. There's just a character name, maybe. I've lost the plot at this point. See, it's ultra thinking now. It's probably going to add a bunch more logs as well, which is going to be frustrating, but that's fine. So I know this is not creating great code. I looked at this with Stony the other day, and even just reading around it myself as someone who hasn't used React before. It's bad. Oh, it's removed console logs. Awesome. There are other examples of what you define. The Office. I can't watch The Office. Either one, especially the American one, but either one. Yeah, it's got. We'll see. I can't. No, it's no. That's fast forward through. I have. It's got worse as well as I've got older. What I can actually cope with before I have to skip. Like I was watching. What was I watching yesterday? Oh, um, can't remember what I was watching. It was like a drama, and I was like, nope. And other people's streams, that's cringe comedy. Okay, so Claude says it should work now. You know, you keep failing, Claude. We're gonna send you off to the scrapper. Okay. The request body will now properly contain. Let's have a look. Let's see how far it actually got there. Let's do this. Search pricing. Before I completely, like, this is not its fault, right? I'm not under no illusion here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't be more clear about what that variable is. Yeah. Let's do this. Terminate that session. Start a new one. Link game to IGDB. Price chat and API service. This probably looks like is this a common pattern? This using the throws to get errors out? Because it drives me crazy. It's just messy. Maybe that's the .NET, developer in me. Like price chat and search result. See, I call it price. There, it's like price charting ID. Oh, hold on. But it is in backend until you hit the API layer. I do not use try catches everywhere. I'm talking about React specifically here. I would not use this pattern at all. Yeah. No, this is not something that feels very nice. But this is littered throughout this code base at this point. Let me have a look to see if we have. Okay. Price chat API service. See, now I've got the problem of price chat and search dialog. Okay, here we go. Search pricing, create. Handle select pricing, create game API service, associate game pricing. Team API service. God, throw. Like scenarios that we haven't even said are real scenarios. It's just filling in and just leaving stuff through the code like that. It just drives me crazy. Okay, so this looks like it should work at this point. Why? Well, again, it's the code bases it's got to reference off of. It's just terrible. Okay, let's clear this so we know exactly what request it's making. Okay, so we see payload. There we go. So we should have a payload. 1969, nice. Yep, that's what it was. It was variable casing. Okay, so let's get the copy. Let's get the product. Basically, by using this method as well, if for whatever reason my user was not allowed to use price chart anymore at this phase, this would actually fail as well. So it means I can't feed the data in. Okay, here's the big test. So a copy has an association which has a history record, which I've added a history record for. So the question is, will all this filter out and actually solve itself? Now you know why everything is JSON property. Yeah. Okay. How much of that data did we think it created? Did that work exactly as I intended? So all I do is associate with price chart and I create a new price chart and association and the history is there. Oh, it failed. It did not save. $19.69, right? Was the price chart ID. Didn't save anything. Didn't save anything. That's even weirder. It got the copy, it got the product. Oh, cannot insert explicit value for identity column game copies when identity insert is set to off. Oh, we got this the other day, didn't we? Oh, this was... Oh, no. I didn't try and insert... I didn't try and insert into a game copy. No, I did. What am I doing? Update async. That's a good idea. But that still shows that I shouldn't be inserting. I was hitting add. See, that's where a unit test would have caught me because I would have explained it. But I shouldn't be trying to add a new copy. I'm trying to update the copy I have. Is the point? So that might actually have worked had I not been an idiot. However, oh, because the ID was already okay, it did the right thing. Yeah. Uh-oh. We're close. We're close. This is this. Has foreign key. History has... This is me being dense with one E goes to E dot association. Has foreign... Hey, Alman, how you doing? I'm doing good today. Being productive. For those just joining, I noticed that the viewers numbers up a little bit. I am currently working. Hey, Marcel. Yeah. I'm better each day, which is good. Thank you for the luck. Have a great day. Yeah, bit of a different week than normal. So this is failing because of that association. Why does it do? I've been caught out by this before. Invalid column name association ID 1. It's has foreign key. I don't think that's the correct order. Hold on. Game configuration with mapping to game has... Why does that not... Mod, you just can't tell. Why does that need price charting history? Yeah, that's a good point. Have I screwed up the... No. Has many history with one of them. It knows that's a history record. T principal is price charting game copy association. Price charting. You only need to do the thing in one direction. Public virtual price charting game copy association. Association ID. That should work. I'm missing something with entity framework here though. Why did I have to do that there? Has 1 1. Those has 1 1s. This has many. So game to mapping. I did not map back the other way. I removed the mappings the other way because you only need one to work. The configuration will load in that way. Association ID is the foreign key. The reason I'm specifying that is because it's a price charting game copy association. Linked via association ID. Let's try that once more. So what I'm working on right now is, hey, I've gone and searched for That's weird. Advance Wars. That's weird how much stuff it'll bring in. I can't remember why that is. But I've gone and searched on my price charting list, and now when I select this, I should associate my, yeah, same problem. No, that worked. That worked. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So basically now game copies where game ID equals actually where game where identifier equals that. Oh no. Games. There's my game. Game copies where game ID equals that. There's my copy. Now I've got my game ID, copy ID. So now here, where my game copy ID equals that one, I have now associated a price charting record with it. And then with that record, the history, did it insert the history is the question. Association ID equals that. It did. And it marked it as current. So you only do this the first time, right? So the first time you're linking the record to price charting is when this happens. So this will always be true, but it actually worked. So I'm actually happy with that code because it reads correctly. I'm associating them with the price charting, and the history record is created by virtue of the create. So the behavior of what it is to create a association is now wrapped up in there. So even if I was to create an association through another method, I will always get the history record for that method. So that is pretty cool. So yeah, that works. Feature. Associate being copy with price charting. Ouch. That's it. It's fine. No need to be wordy there. Nothing particularly advanced about that. So now I can go here. I can go Gears War. So go to Reloaded. Go to Copies. The pricing isn't associated. UPC. Actually, let's go to Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater copies. I have the UPC here, but I don't have the pricing. So when I search the pricing, I should get a more accurate hit because I've just got the UPC. So it'll match on UPC and then name. I don't know why this is coming up as $270. I don't know what happened to the pricing of this game. This is one of the challenges of having these third-party pricing sources, right? It's an estimate based up off eBay and I think a few other selling sites, like the sale prices of that game. I don't know why anyone would have paid $270 unless there's a special limited edition version and it's not being shown as anything other than that. So select that, and there we go. There's the value. So because I opened it, because as always, Amazon stick it in an envelope and you end up with a disc bouncing around inside, and I unseal it, which means it's open now. Yeah. I saw a Reddit post that was talking about valuable Steam games that are delisted, games people tend to have in their inventory, but the currency was in TF2 keys, and now I'm like, okay, what's that in freedom? Valuable Steam games. But how are they valuable? You can't transfer a Steam game. Well, the account, you sell the account. Yeah, I'm not selling my account. You can't you can't gift a game you have in your inventory though, can you? So there we go. So the pricing association works there. So I'll do my normal. Inventory.gift. Unclaimed gifted games. I need to go through my Humble Bundle and see if anyone wants some of those games. I keep forgetting to not offer other people those games. My daughter normally takes the better ones, but there are still a bunch of games in there that I should go through. Cool. So yeah, that's linking pricing to the games. So you know, if I don't have, well, most of the games will have pricing, but like if I go to my collection and I add a game, I do Gears of War 4 for the PlayStation, for the Xbox 360. No, 4 was on the Xbox One. Right. Gears of War 4. Now, again, does a subscription only give games? For the Humble Bundle, yeah. It's a game subscription. And I forget the renewal date every single year. I'm like, oh, I should really cancel that because I just don't use it as much. And then it renews, and I'm like, oh, I've got it for another year now. So, yeah. So yeah, I'm only ever going to associate this version. I'm not going to associate the Ultimate Edition, because I kind of classify my games as, if I have 3 copies of Gears of War 4 and one of them is the Ultimate Edition, it's going to sit underneath Gears of War 4. And I'm only doing this for the purpose of like this stuff. No. Not happening. Morning, Frank. So Microsoft Game Studios, we can save that, and now we can edit the games. So that's looking pretty good, right? These reviews, it'll always say 4.8 stars E. I've got to pull in extra information. I want to pull in cover art as well. Maybe we do that next. Make it look a bit better. Xbox One enhanced. So after Wednesday stream, I did actually go and order Gears of War 2, 3, 4, and Judgment. No, 3, 4. Yeah. So I rounded out the collection of Gears of War games. Actually pretty fun. If a little difficult at times. Okay, so we got all that committed. We got all that done. We do get, I believe, we do get cover art in IGDB. Fetch covers, fetch game. Yeah. If you want book subscription, O'Reilly does a book subscription now. But, well, no, they do a flat fee, and then you get access to all the library sort of stuff. But they cover. I don't. Can't remember. I didn't actually look at the pricing, if I'm very honest, because I was trying to find. Is it Safari Books Online? But they have Pact and everything in there, so 49. No, okay, it's expensive. $49 a month or an annual membership of $500. No, not worth it that much. I didn't realize it was that expensive. Yeah, no. Read online, however, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, potentially. But yeah. Anyway, $50 a month. I'm not. Yeah. I just say packed. Because it's PAKT, right? Who, who knows? Authorization failure. So that probably is going to be unauthorized. Yeah, that is. Um, what do I pull down with the game? Now, there's a feature I broke in doing this. I broke the caching of this data. So what I wanted to do is, or what I aim to do is have it so that when I register a game with IGDB, when I link it, tomato, yep. When I link a game with IGDB, I want to basically say, hey, go cache this information. So go fetch it again and then cache it so that I don't always have to, because right now what's happening is when I go in here, this information, this is all being loaded from IGDB at the same time. There's no need for that, so I can store most of the links and stuff in Mongo as a cache, and then when I go to the game, I can just pull that up, and it'll make it a little bit faster. And then ultimately, I would like to store the images, but we can worry about that later. We're not doing this later until now. So yeah, we can see a copy, we can see the purchase price, we can see the current value, history and stuff. Let's tighten up the UI a little bit first. Let's get the cover art in there. I think that might make it look a bit cooler. Do I cover that? If you are interested in any of this code, if you are joining the stream, if you want to see any of this code, all of this code is open source. I do not have I'm not hiding this stuff. There is 2 repositories though, because I am not a fan of mono repositories. I am a big fan of separating out front end and back end. So the back end components are there, and the React client is there. So if you're interested in seeing how any of this code comes together, it's not going to run clearly on your machine. The database scripts and stuff I need to produce, but the code is there if you are interested in seeing it. Yeah, I've open sourced all this, so all the interactions with price charting, all the interactions with IGDB. So the IGDB component is completely separate. I have an API gateway so that when I'm asking for IGDB stuff, it's all isolated here, and then the game stuff is here. It does make it a little bit more disconnected. I think there's probably a better design here. The price charting stuff I did not break out as its own component because it's kind of an integral part of what I want to do with the application. Is part of the application is being able to track those prices. So let's go to games list. No, get. And do we have cover art available? So fetch game. We'll go and get the game information. That'll pull all that information. That'll pull me on my copies, the number of copies I have, the publisher, the platform, etc. Right, that's fine. The IGDB side of it, endpoints, game, get, fetch a game. See, there's no cover art there, but is there a here? So this, again, this query handler here will say, go and get from the games repository first. Do I have it? No. So right now, for most of these games, it's hitting this. It's coming back empty, and it's going to the game service. This was not something I enjoyed implementing. So now this goes and gets that game by ID, and it will pull a game. And that has with it genres, keywords, names, platforms. So I'm missing something there. So we have available to us all this. I believe it's a DuckDuckGo thing, not a My Machine thing, but oof, that's slow. So on a game, we have bundles cover, reference ID for the cover. So we can do that. So that is now initially what I thought this was you had to get the ID and then go and get the object. But the way this API actually works, it doesn't work that way. So cover here is this, which is a cover image, which is a type of image, but not the same. Oh my goodness me. As a checksum, has no ID. Of course. Of course. Why would you be consistent in your object structuring? Why does I suppose, yeah, the localization might matter, I suppose. Yeah. So image here has most of that, but it's got an IGDB entity base which has ID and checksum. An ID is not a field. So if I try and use that object, it's going to crash because IGDB, the API, if you ask for a property that does not exist, it will crash. So yeah, that's fun. So everything's in value types here. I do have cover as an image, which is, I don't think that's going to work. Let's see. Let's see. So if we do public cover, get set. Oh. Is that nullable? Is the question. So the way my tool here works, this API query stuff is just custom wrapper, and what it will do is it'll take this object and use the properties of the object to build out the request for the fields. So whatever object I give it there is those fields are going to get asked for. I'm not flexing the actual fields I'm asking for deliberately. So like this one will only return, this will do a search, but it will give me back games with 15 and it will work. It will give me back all the games and search on games rather than the where. This just narrows it to the platform ID, so I can hopefully hit better on the IGDB. So the naming of some things does conflict. So some I can't link necessarily. We'll have to refine that later. Probably put a search of our own in there and see if we can find it. However, if I do that, that will do that. So that does it will be set. That goes away. Quiet. We'll find out. Okay, so basically, when we get that, the game service, we go to, and yes, there's some level of kind of, there's a lot of mapping going on in this application, which is not something I'm very, very happy with, right? This result here, at the API level, is not the first time. So the application level also does the same sort of thing, right? So games fetch game. This will give me a game no matter which. So I store the game in the database. This service will take that model, return that thing. Then I map it to a DTO, right? Which has the same object data. Like you see image DTO, whatever. And then I map it again back to the client. And it's not slow, but it's really not very nice. it's why with Liquid Sky, I kind of went with the GraphQL query side of things. So I can kind of collate all that information in one place and then just query it. I don't need to keep mapping multiple times. But I'm translating from API to local object to, keep the patterns consistent. It does come with some cost. It's not big enough for Automapper. It's not like it's unwieldy, but it's still not the cleanest of designs I've ever done. So, but we'll get there, right? We'll get there. So basically, I need to make a copy of this object, essentially. And that goes over here now, not API, application, models, game DTO. You can see all these, image DTO, image. So this is cover DTO, right? Oh, I can't inherit from. That gives me nothing. Ah, welcome back. What games are you playing? Wasn't stalking you in. Oh, that's why I did that as a record. It works better as a record. It's cleaner. I just copy it. Oh, DVD. Okay. String image ID, string URL, int height, int width, full alpha channel, full animated. Image ID, URL, height, width. Tell me all that. That's fine. Fetch game from game. Cover equals game.cover. Game DTO. Public cover DTO cover. Required. New cover DTO. That's horrendous. That's absolutely horrendous. That's being changed later. That'll give me the DTO, and then down to the front end, we need the cover again. So again, the mapping is just the problem. It's just I keep debating what I'm going to do for the design of it. I've not done this style in a long time. Public string image ID required. So I report that the software is broken. Went to the user and asked them to show me. The software popped up a dialog which reported the folder was empty. Guess what? The folder was empty. I mean, wow. The bigger question is, though, why did they think the folder shouldn't be empty? Did they screw up something earlier? Covert. Public. Cover. Cover. You wanted to type cover there. Remember with the same name as cover art. Cover art. Doesn't matter what that object is because it's going to get serialized down to the down to the client. Image ID equals result dot cover dot image ID URL equals result dot cover dot URL. Yeah. Hi equals result dot cover dot. I wanted to keep typing it, don't I? And width equals, because they copied a bunch of folders that should have had files in them, but it was a folder full of empty folders. Cover dot width. Basically what I'm trying to do here, by the way, is I'm trying to make sure everything's very transparent. There's no point in creating folders of these objects, especially while I'm trying to think about what they actually should be. I'm a programmer. This is my day job. Yeah. The fun thing is here I highlight bits to crash and I have to create another version of the image because the cover art version doesn't have the image ID on the ID property on it. But we'll see. It might ignore that. Okay. So let's get here. How do I test this? I suppose I just go to a game, and we'll see the request error. Come on. No, not that. Not that. Okay, so when we open DevTools, let's close that down. I'm going to drag that off. We don't need you. Don't. I'm pretty sure you can imagine what a network request looks like. When I go to a game, yeah, it failed. The JSON value could not be converted. That's a different error than I expected it to be. Let's do this. Did I get the sign-in working for? No, I did not. So it errored with a serializer error, of all things. Now that could be the problem, right? It could be the exact problem I was worried about, where it's going to have a model that does not match, like this image response space, game response. Oh, I don't pull cover. API response space has, oh yeah, I have layers on layers on layers here, don't I? But I don't get game, do I not use that anymore? Did I get rid of it? I got rid of it. Yeah. So in my domain here, I have an entity. The game here, this is essentially that object, so that I got rid of these models. Edit, delete. That shouldn't break anything. That should all work still. So my concern was that cover itself can't inherit from image, because the image inherits from IGDB entity base. And I think that's true. So what we'll do is put them here. It seems dumb to have seems dumb to have the duplication, but that's their API. Those are required. You can't have this without them. And it's going to make a JSON request based on this. So my best bet is the IGDB component errored getting that information. And yeah. So let's try that again. My collection. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, opinions, please feel free to share. This code is all open source. There we go. We should hit our breakpoint eventually. There's our breakpoint ID 1638 F10. I don't think all went well there. I think it crashed. Game. Let's go into the query. Query. Let's go in here. 11, 10. We should hit that point. Yep. Okay, client. Let's get that over there. But it does have ID. They lie. I must leave for my duty. Apex, thank you very much for coming hanging out. Take care and have a great day. Do start a war soon. But I'll make it back. You was my favourite. Oh, thanks, mate. Dear. Request. Yeah, this is not going well, is it? Okay, so what I did in the meantime is I created a... Are you streaming this weekend, Apex, by the way? I haven't checked out Apex yet. Apex has been working on his game stuff and it's starting to come along. He's been building out a lot of components, but you know things are starting to come together. So he's got the construction materials established, and now can start building. So the cover does have ID. It does have checksum, which means that change I made before was actually unnecessary. I could inherit from image because cover does have what it takes. So this cover here, I can undo that and inherit from image because image has all this information than that. And you can see ID, alpha channel, animated, game, height, image ID, URL, width, and checksum. I have it set to deserialize, by the way, with snake case. No. Yes. Snake case. Price charting uses kebab cases. Kebab casing. So that was fun. But yeah, all this information is actually here. So that should work. So let's go back there again. Game service. Let's go into query. That's the actual query. IGDB query. Let's get here and debug that. And give that a try. So the ultimate goal, for me, the ultimate goal for this is be able to update the pricing automatically on a weekly schedule. So all the price charting data is pulled on a weekly schedule and alert me to the fact that games are changing in prices by, you know, a lot or a little. Keep an eye on the total copies. Provide an app into which my wife can log into and see the collection, which could be dangerous, but I'll take the risk. Yeah, just generally provide a nice usable interface for me. Beyond that, I want to be able to add in things like tracking of my progress on games, upload videos of my games potentially. So yeah. Oh, that's why it is not deserializing cover. Cover is not a thing. And Radio Patrick, hello, good morning. Enjoy your movies? I said hello last night, and then I don't think he saw it for a few minutes, and then I was like focused on this, so I muted the stream. So, Truman Show. That, yeah, Jim Carrey can make me cringe pretty bad, so I had to mute that. All good. All good. So the problem here is that that is not expanding that like it does other things. So required cover. I wonder if that makes the difference. Oh, I don't have an example of something that isn't a list of things. I might not support this feature. You must have watching NTV first, which is definitely worse and more cringy. Yeah, no. So the design of this, what this is meant to do, is it's meant to get the fields from the object, right? So loop through, get the properties, get the field name from the property. If fields is not null, add range fields. So get the field name. So then we get that property itself. If it's a type definition and reference property is null, return an array of just that property name. Otherwise, if it's not a generic type, get the fields from it and return them. So this is breaking down. So given, oh look, it's like a Christmas tree. Yeah. So what's happening is this is the first time I've done something where I've got another object rather than a list of objects. And it's not said, oh, you mean cover as an object? Let's go and expand those fields for you. So the idea is I could actually build out a really crazy complex tree of properties here for the IGDB side. I don't intend to, but this would be nice because then this functionality remains intact, right? So let's go here. I'll refresh this. Cover should be one of the first ones in there, so should be fine. There you go. So property is cover. Okay, perfect. So property name, cover, reference property, reference attribute. So it's not a reference property. Oh, it is. So that's why it returns that. So what does reference attribute? Oh. I don't do that for anything else. What? Do I have different code for if it's a... No? Convert to snake case. Ugh. That's because I'm not actually JSON serializing this. I'm getting the actual field names and dealing with that. But do I have to do... Oh no, where did I put that? Reference attribute. That's a problem. So it would work if I was able to say, oh, by the way, reference. However, I can't do that because the thing that I'm using here goes in the wrong direction. My domain can't reference my infrastructure, and I don't want to move reference attribute into my domain. It should work by default. We could do it off just the type, right? So let's remove that behavior. If not is generic type. Reference is property dot property type is class? Oh crap! I've run over my time again. Um, One more try. It's Friday, right? It is Friday. Definitely Friday. There we go. I think we know where we're going. So basically, what I'm trying to do there is just maintain that behavior where it will actually go through and get the right properties and build out that field list. So again, the idea would be it would go cover dot id dot cover dot whatever and map all the properties that I have in my object. So if I don't want ID and stuff in the future, I can just drop those fields and it won't ask for them. So I can just narrow it down to the actual object data I care about. That's my goal here. So reference property, it is a class. This may kick me in the butt on other things. So yeah, let's go there. So it's navigating down the objects. That's the problem. Fields. Oh no. It got string. I need to be a little bit more explicit there. But anyway, so the goal there will be just to get cover involved. And then from that, I can then just, we'll display the cover art of the game there. And then I think it's onto kind of metrics and analytics and stuff like that for the games for a little while. But progress overall. We were able to link price charting and history, which is good. So anyway, I gotta run. I gotta get some breakfast. I need to take some medicine. I will be back on Monday for a short while. I have some plans on Monday, so I don't think I'll maybe back on Monday. We'll see. Again, the streams are not going to be 5 days a week. I am 100% not doing 5 days a week anymore. But probably 2 to 3 days a week for the very foreseeable future. I think that's a good balance. Yeah, if you are new to the stream, if you've not been in here before, I do stream a variety of things. I will get back to some Liquid Sky at some point. I'm still just debating how much I want to dedicate to that at this point based on stress levels. But once I've seen doctors and stuff over the next couple of weeks, some of that might change anyway. But anyway, there is a bunch of projects I've worked on the stream. This particular one is fully open source. You can go and check that out over at the TBD Friends repo. And that is, if you wanted the code for this project, you're more than welcome to go and take a look at that. But I do play with all sorts of different technology on stream. K-Maz, hello. How you doing? There is also a Discord attached to the stream if you are ever interested in a chat, if you want to share stuff you're working on, you want some ideas or opinions or just feedback in general, you're more than welcome to join the Discord. It's not the busiest Discord in the world, but there are people in there chatting back and forth over a variety of things. And thank you for the follow. And yeah, it's and I do hang out there quite a lot in the voice chat, talking about random things, not always code, sometimes about, you know, software development, you know, everything around software development, sometimes it's random stuff, but yeah, the Discord is there if anyone wants to use it. So what I will do is over the weekend, I'll probably figure out this cover thing. Basically, it's just getting the reflection piece to say, hey, it's an object, it's not a string or whatever. I've done this before. It will navigate into that object, it will get its properties, and if that has properties, it will navigate into those properties and do that for it. The problem there is it determined that string on the image was that had properties, and it got those properties, and that's what was going to break that again. But I can't have that reference attribute in here, so I have to put it into domain and then have that. So we'll see. But for now, I'm afraid that is going to be me. I have to go get some breakfast, take some medicine. Again, I will be back next week, and we'll update in the Discord on stream schedules and stuff as I can. But for right now, let's go raid Frank. It is Friday. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for coming hanging out. I appreciate it. Take care and have a great weekend. If you're in the US and Canada, have a great long weekend. And I'll see you again next week. Take care all.